Hey guys, here I am back, and I've opened all the bags numbered 1. So, I'm going to be taking a closer look at the pieces now that I have them open. Um, let's see. Bunch of gears in here, as you can see. Now if we move up here, we have this interesting piece. I have no idea what this is, but I'm going to find out probably as I assemble it. It appears to have an axle and some kind of unknown port at the end. I would assume that it has some... Well, what is this? This is probably connected to that, actually. I don't know. But this one has a little pinhole, looks like. In fact, let me just try connecting those. It's kind of hard because I have one hand, but let's continue on looking then. Just some piston pieces in here. Now if we move on here we have all these universal joints. We have several of those. It looks like at least 3 or 4 probably. And we also have these weird pieces that I was talking about earlier that I have no idea what they are. They appear to have some kind of an interesting connection point. Maybe they're for the transmission or something. But as we continue on to this larger pile, we have some engine block pieces. We have these ball pieces, which I'm pretty sure are involved in the transmission as well. We have these pieces, which I think will connect to the wheels, because the wheels, if we move over here to where I have the wheels, have these 3 pinholes, and I would assume that these connect into there, and there's that same connection piece at the end that has to do with the transmission, it looks like. We get this weird piece. This looks kind of like a jet at the end, actually. You could probably make some interesting rocket mocks with this. There's this geared piece here, and these weird pieces I was talking about before. We have a bunch of these springs here. I've gotten these in a different color. I think I had them in black or something, but they're the same piece. And let's move on to the next pile. This is a small pile we had here. I don't know if I should get this pile, but there's not a lot in here. Mostly some of these small piston pieces and stuff. These pieces I've never gotten in this color, so that's new. Neither have I gotten these in this color. Some new colors in here actually, so there's some interesting stuff. And over here we get these in more of these red ones, which I always like to use because the gray ones are a little too boring. Get more of these in yellow. I only had like 3 of each of those before, but now I have a bunch of them thanks to this set. We have these ball pieces, which are good for attaching rubber bands. And what are these? These are definitely good for mocking. You could hook them up to Hero Factory armor and plug something on. In fact, I was thinking of a mock that they might be useful for actually, but you guys will have to wait until I get breakout necks to see that mock, because I need a piece from it. Now, as I was talking about before, there are these black pieces which are very useful for mocking because you can normally only get them in light gray, but these black ones are a lot more discreet, but they're a lot harder to find. You can only find them in Technic sets, I'm pretty sure. Now if we move over to here, we can see these pieces. I think I've gotten one of these before in a set, but get more of those. Several of them. And that's pretty much all here. I'm on the very first step here, and I'm going to be assembling the Unimog now. So I'll join you if I have any other interesting things to show you. Hey guys, an interesting trick here as I was building the Unimog that they showed is that because this is in a confined space, it's a mechanism that appears to be for reversing the direction of the drive shaft's movement. But an interesting thing is that because this gear is operating in an enclosed environment and there's not enough space for a pin or a rotating axle, what they did was they used a mini pin, a minifigure sized kind of accessory width pin there, and they set the gear on it to allow it to rotate. So if you guys are working in an enclosed space in a very small area, those pins can be used for allowing an axle hole to rotate. And the way they did it is that these... Oops. But anyway, what this was for there were these gears along here, and with the axle rotating one direction in this end, rotating the other direction in the other end, by simply reversing it by the way the gears work. Now another interesting thing is I saw this little part that I didn't see in the close-up. I wonder what this will be for. Hey, I just found another interesting piece here. It looks like, from what I can see from the instructions, it's somehow supposed to sit in here, but I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to sit in here, right around here or something, in that little groove there. Don't know what this is for, but it could probably be used for some interesting mocks. Hey guys, here I am back, and I figured out what some of these pieces are for. In this little, if I could just unattach this area here, this long piece that I was wondering about is a connecting rod because of the independent suspension here. It's supposed to attach the front section of the vehicle that has the PTO to the wheelbase here, I think it's called, and it just plugs onto a ball socket. No, a ball like that one of those mini balls, and just attaches like that, and allows you to rock to and fro and stuff to allow the suspension to move properly. And also, these other pieces up here that I was wondering about earlier, they work as a universal joint, except they allow an axle to move in and out of it, just so it has a bit better movability, and it's connected to this universal joint rod up here. So these are where those pieces went. These weird looking pieces with the balls at the end, they're for the internal combustion engine. And these piston pieces snap on at the end of the ball, and they'll go inside the engine block. And I can't actually fit them in with my one hand, but as you can see, they'll create a reciprocating motion and make it look like the cylinders are moving up and down like in a real truck. And here's my progress so far. Now, while not a mistake here, I just thought I'd highlight a confusing part of the instructions. At step number 99, you have to remove these red pieces, which were used as a scaffolding of sort while you were constructing this end of the vehicle, so as to not have it scraping against the ground. Now, once the entire front of the vehicle has been built, you're supposed to remove these entirely while leaving one of the pins, the frontmost one. Ooh, it came off perfectly, even with the correct pin. And once you do that, you are supposed to then install these struts. So I'll leave you with that. Alright, here are the pieces from the bags numbered 2. It was several bags that all had number 2. And here's my progress on the Unimog so far. I've pretty much built the entire chassis, with the wheels and the pistons work, and the PTOs work, the pump works, so pretty close. Right now, in the instructions, I'm going to start building the cab, and I've opened bags numbered 2 for that. Now, the most interesting piece by far in here is the steering wheel. Very, very nice piece, and it can be used for some nice Hero Factory vehicle mocks, obviously. Now, if you take a closer look, there are some kind of cool pieces here. Not a lot of new stuff that I haven't seen before. A bunch of pins here. Those are always useful. And some other stuff down here. A lot of orange pieces if you like making orange mocks. A lot of nice pieces in here. And these pieces are also very, very interesting. These large pieces. It's hard to get not only just girders in orange, but these large plates. Like, these are very, very nice. We also get these, and we get girders. They look about the 15 length, maybe there's a couple in the 13, I'm not sure. So if we go down here also, we get some of these smaller pins and axles, and a couple more orange pieces, but these are just mostly smaller elements which aren't as interesting. Now, there aren't as many interesting pieces as in the bags numbered 1, because bags number 1 just made all of that, and bags 2 through 4 are just going to make a couple more structural pieces, like the crane and the cab and stuff, and the box back there. But you got a lot of interesting technical pieces in there. So, but here is just a couple of detailing pieces that are kind of cool. But you get these pieces. These are kind of nice. You can add some nice texture with those. Anyway, I'll join you in a minute when I find something interesting to show you. Hey guys, here I am back, and sorry the light's dimming, but it's finally becoming the evening. it's starting to get on a little later. It's 7 now, but something interesting of note is that these, when you're putting on these flashers on the top of the roof, make sure the bearings are using the squared off edges rather than the completely round one. That way the flashers will go down all the way due to the fact that they have studs along the bottom. So they'll press down all the way. And here's my progress. I think I've already shown you the completed chassis that I've finished, but I've also done the entire cab pretty much. Here is bag number 3. Now, as you can see, I've finished most of the Unimog. I've finished the entire truck, the main truck deal going on here, and it's complete, but it does not have any power functions or the crane or the box or the PTO winch at the front. It's just the truck, but it's looking very, very nice so far. Now, I probably won't get around to actually reviewing the set, like the actual features and stuff, until tomorrow because it's starting to get kind of dark. But here we can take a look at least at the parts of bag number 3. Now you get a bunch of these. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 at least. And then you get a bunch of these pins here. These pieces I don't think I have, so those ones are kind of nice. But very plain stuff here, so I'm going to get right into building. Here we are back with bags numbered 4, and I'll also take the opportunity to show you the pneumatic parts I have here. But I won't be able to show you all the pneumatic parts because some of them are already in here. Like the pump, for example, which is a part I was wondering about in the first part of the video. Oops. The pump is down there. It's behind some stuff, so you can't really see it. But anyway, as should have mentioned first, I finished the box on the Unimog with bag number 3. Bag number 3 just did the box. But anyway, here in bag number 4, we're back to some more interesting pieces. Here we have this large geared piece, which swivels independently of its bottom. I don't know what this. I'm pretty sure this looks like it'll be on the bottom of the pneumatic crane. But I'd like to see how this works. Now we also have this other white piece, which for some reason has another color of plastic for the gear inside, but it doesn't feel like it rotates. I'm not quite sure. Then we have this larger girder piece. Can't wait to make mocks out of that. I don't think I have these pieces in red, so those are new. We get some new color, some more of these, I think. New colors of those. Some more of these in this color, which is new. We have another one of these white gears. And over here we have a bunch of pins. More importantly, we have these pieces, which are always useful, and I've only had 3 to date, I think. So I think this thing has like 2 or 3 more of those, so that's good. And more of these rubber pieces, which are always useful. And over here we have a couple of gears and stuff. Not a lot that's very interesting. Also over here, actually, we have a bit of twine for the winch. So if we open that, we get the little spool inside, which has cord wrapped around it. And you can remove that and tie it to this new pulley piece, and then tie the hook to the other end. So I'll get right to building here. Hey guys, here I am showing you the pneumatic elements. Now, here I am in the build. I've done some of this rear section and I'm working on the hydraulic crane right now. But I've already put in some of the things. Namely, some of these blue pin pieces that I was showing you when I first showed the parts. And those are hose hookups. You can hook them up to an axle that way. But as you can see, there are some of the hoses already hooked up. But the way these hoses work is kind of counterintuitive, because the input tube into the rams and the output tube from the compressor is about the same width as the tubing. So you just have to push them on really hard. And because I only have one hand here, I can't actually do it. But it's kind of hard. But what you will see is the end of the hose expanding as you put them on. But anyway, some of the things we have here is a large pneumatic ram, and smaller ones. I do have 2 of these large ones, a small one. I couldn't show you the compressor though, because that's already inside. We get like 4 of these valves with several hookups. There are 3 modes, so you can move them in 3 spots. The middle one's neutral, I'm pretty sure. They're kind of tight at first, but you can move them to the right or to the left, or into the middle, which is neutral, I'm pretty sure. And it comes with several sizes of hoses. There's a small one, several of these ones that are a bit longer, another longer one yet, a couple ones in gray. These ones feel a bit more flexible actually, some in black. But as you can see, these pneumatic ones will work faster than the mechanical actuators that work with power functions. However, they won't be as precise, so they could be useful for certain kinds of mock making, especially if you want to create fast movements. But anyway, I'll continue on with the building here.